Hey guys, Heidi here, and I'm excited to have Angie. Welcome, Angie. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, so I had to apologize to her because I, I totally was talking to my mom and trying to do something else at the same time, and I am late to this meeting. So I just want to formally apologize in front of everybody. I'm so sorry.
No problem, Heidi.
I'm very big. I do not like to waste people's time. So when I do it to somebody else, I feel so bad. So we're just going to jump right in. Tell us what your business is and where they can find you on Facebook. And then she's going to tell us how she's having success with this window art and type of muraling. Because I know some of y'all have asked me questions about my murals and stuff like that. And this lady has some awesome stuff happening. So tell us what your business name is and where they can find you.
Thank you, Heidi. My business is Angie Nordstrum Design, and yeah, it's Angie Nordstrom Design on Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, I've been doing the window art recently. Kind of came about it through kind of with everything that happened in March. The work that I was doing as a graphic designer kind of stopped because I was working mostly with restaurants. So I had to kind of pivot and figure out some other avenues and other ways to make money. And while I was doing that, I was talking with some other small business owners in my town. And I had done some window art for them at the holidays last year. And then this year they asked me if I could come in and do some more window art because with all the COVID shutdowns, the street their business is on, they closed it for all the restaurants so they could open. So the traffic into this boutique had slowed. So they needed something that would be eye-catching and something that would grab people's attention as they walked by and make them want to come in. So
And kind
so
of
that
just show them they're still open and ready for business.
yeah. So they were the first ones, and it was so much fun. I had a great time being outside painting, and lots of people would come up and say hi. They'd ask about me. They'd ask about the boutique where I was painting. So it was kind of a win-win for both of us.
That's awesome. Okay, so I'm hoping, so send me some of your pictures because hopefully, we have some magic happening and there's some beautiful murals of yours showing right now on the screen. But guys, I wanted to bring her to you because she's not only as you see, her art is gorgeous. But I know there's other people in Paint Party headquarters that do this seasonally too, gearing up for fall or for Christmas, and it's a great way to make extra money. So, so could you maybe tell one or two tips on how somebody, if they want, let's say they're doing their paint parties online, or they're doing their paint parties in person, or they've been selling some art kits, but they just want another kind of avenue to make some money creatively. Tell us your maybe top 2 tips for how to make that happen, and maybe what you charge, if you're okay with even saying that.
Sure. So I think first, just start talking to the people in your community, like the small business owners, shop owners, hair salons, auto shops, schools, and see who might need some artwork, or businesses that want to increase their traffic into their shop.
Do you message them, or do you go up to them and say, this is what I do, and it increases your traffic? How do you approach?
It's more, kind of more face-to-face. Kind of in person, just kind of popping into the shop and saying hey, this is what I do, and would you like any window art? And especially, like you said, Heidi, with seasonal work, I think that's a great way to get it started. Holiday work, something eye-catching for the holidays. And also just post on Facebook. That's so powerful. Everybody in my town is seeing what I'm doing and noticing, and then asking me, if I can do work for them. So
yes.
Yeah.
And you're posting on your business and your personal, right?
Yeah. I post it on my business, and then I forward it to my personal.
Good. Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I always say. Even with paint parties, it's Facebook, the power of Facebook. You don't have to sit there and go hire me, but you can go, hey, check out what I'm doing, or thanks so much to this business for having me. And then they're like, wait a minute, she does that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like you just said, Heidi, like always, yeah, like thank and acknowledge the business that you painted for.
right.
Yeah. And give them a shout out as well.
Yeah, they love that because then you're pushing more people to their business as well as
Yeah.
they're probably accepting when you're tagging them. So then it's pushing more people to your business. So it's a win-win. And it's a free platform. And
Oh.
so do you use acrylic paints for this? And then do you actually go wash it off when it's done?
I don't wash it off.
Oh, good. I was like, I would not want to do that.
No, I put that in my contract. Somebody else can do that. No, I use house paint. So exterior house paint. And I find that it works best if you put a white like primer base coat down first. And then the paint adheres to that well, and the colors pop more when there's the base coat. But yeah, it's just regular exterior house paint.
The latex exterior house paint? Yeah, because that stuff just kind of peels off, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it does. And you can, yeah, when you do remove it, yeah, you can kind of put like a solution of, I think like dish soap and vinegar and water, and that'll kind of let it soften. And then you can just take a blade, like one of those like painter razor blades, and rip it off.
Yeah, so all of y'all learn from Angie. Do not say you will wash the windows, okay? Do not make that part of your contract. If you decide to do this, especially your first one. I remember years ago, I had a group of kids and we went and did a car dealership, and we did like the whole front part of the windows and the sides, and we had like 50 kids out there working. And I remember not saying I would wash the windows. And after we did all that painting, I was, you know, by then I was so exhausted. I was like, thank the Lord, I did not say I was going to come back and wash these windows. So take that out of there. When you're going up to people in, you know, in the community, are you showing like images that you've done before on your phone, or are you just having a conversation?
I guess, yeah, kind of both. Yeah, if they want to talk in detail, then I can pop it up on my phone. And yeah, and then I just kind of direct them to my website or to Facebook or my website, and so they can see more of the work.
So how many of those businesses you walk into, I'm so curious, say no before you have a yes? Because I always tell people it takes about 9 no's to a yes. What is your ratio?
Yeah. No, I think since my town's kind of small, like I've had pretty good.
They know you, right?
Yeah, they know me. And I'm in, maybe another thing that's helpful is I'm in some women in business groups in my town. So yeah, we all kind of try to help each other out, promote each other's businesses when we can. So
that's awesome.
That's how I've gotten some of the work too. Is
that through a Facebook group, like a women's in business Facebook group, or is it like a meeting in your town?
We were meeting, yeah, we were meeting together before everything closed. So, but yeah, we stay in touch on Facebook and communicate through Facebook too.
Oh, that is awesome. So yeah, if you have some local women's groups or women's entrepreneur groups, any of that kind of stuff, if you can be a part of it, that's always good. Okay, so about how much do you charge, like, to do a basic window? Or maybe one of the pictures you send me, you can talk about that one.
Sure, yeah, it totally depends. And I feel like as you're learning how to do this, you know, you might charge like too little until you kind of get a feel for how long it takes. So one of the projects that I'll show you, I only charged $200 for it. I knew it was a pretty simple project and I knew it would get good exposure. But that price definitely should have been like probably tripled for the amount of time that it took. Wow. But let's see, there's another one I did at a local mall that is they have a lot of empty retail spaces right now. And so they did like a call for artists, and so they had kind of a set fee that they would pay everyone. So for that one, that was $1,000
Nice.
for three big windows, and that took probably, I'd have to look how many hours it was, but I worked on it over about 5 days.
Oh, okay. So
Not
about
all,
$1,000 for 5 days. Yeah.
yeah,
That's good money.
yeah, it
That's
is,
really
and
good
it's
money.
fun.
Put on
Yeah,
some music and paint away. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't advertise that I do murals, but I do a lot of murals because I love doing murals, like painting on floors and painting on wall. Like, it's so much fun, you know? And
it's fun.
and I think, you know, whenever you go to look at, you know, just always making sure you're pricing it. And like Angie said, sometimes, you know, when you're first starting out, you don't have a set price. Always bid a job. And you may do the same thing, but bid a job by the job. So that way you have the ability to change it as you get skilled and faster.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And each time you do it, like keep track of your hours, all the time that you're spending, so that you can look back and assess if you bid the job well, or if you should have bumped it up a little bit.
Yes. And here's my little tip. Anytime I'm bidding a mural job, I always bid kind of like what I think it would take. So if I think it's going to take 3 weeks to do, I'll bid, you know, a certain amount, you know, several $1,000s or whatever I think that's going to be. And then
Yeah.
I look at it and then I go, okay, if this job was to take me another week and a half, 2 weeks, would I still be happy with this price? And usually I add another $1,000 to it just for a buffer, just to make sure. But my first ones, you know, Angie, were like $100, $150. You know, it's like we work up to different price points in the job.
Yeah, so. Exactly. I know the more you do it, you know how much time it's going to take, yes, and how much like prep work and prep time is involved. And so, yeah. And if there are things like up on a ladder, if you're doing things where you're climbing a lot, factor that in, because that gets tiring.
Yes, I've done lots of scaffolding in my days. I'm sure you have too. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay, so tell everybody just one final thought about, maybe one last tip about if they're thinking about doing window art and what they should do.
Here's a fun tip. If you don't have a portfolio of work to show people about window art, practice at home. Practice on your own windows, or like your sliding glass doors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that'll kind of give you like a feel for how to use how the primer works, the paint works, and then like you can just start getting like some practice with that. And maybe if you do a window like that, like on your that faces the street, you know, people might see that, do a cute little holiday scene or something, and then even like your people in your neighborhood will start seeing it and talking about what you do.
That's a great tip. I never even thought about like doing your own window and then taking pictures and then making it into your own Pinterest pin or whatever. Yeah, that's a great tip.
Yeah, nobody needs to know it's your own window.
Yeah, and you could also, like, you could go to your friend's house or your family. Like, you could be practicing on all kinds of windows if that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
That's a great tip. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us, Angie. And we just want to say thank you so much for sharing all this information with all of the ladies.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Heidi.
You're welcome. And again, one last time, where can they find you in case they want to find you on Facebook?
Angie Nordstrum Design.
Angie Nordstrum Design. Okay. And everybody else, I just want to say, remember, as you are going through, I always call this a paint party adventure, because you never know where it's going to lead you to. Like I said, I do murals in the background all the time, but that's not what I highlight in my business, because online I want to be known for one thing. But, you know, Angie, if she's highlighting her business as the mural, you know, window artist, then she's highlighting that like crazy. That doesn't mean she might not be doing commissions or paint parties on the side. So there's always so many different ways that we can make revenue as a creative person, but we have to be willing to pivot and we have to be willing to innovate. And so it takes both of those things. And then of course, having a ton of fun while you're doing all of this. So we appreciate you, Angie. Thanks for being here.
Heidi.
All right. Bye guys.